How come the Hebrew Bible nowhere prohibits men from patronizing sex workers, but unilaterally prohibits women from engaging in sex work? Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. And the reason is that the sexual ethic of the Hebrew Bible, at least up to the Greco-Roman period, was not constructed on the perception of any moral or ethical significance attached directly to the act of sex itself. The moral and ethical significance was attached to the commodification of a woman's sexual availability and procreative capacities, and they were expected to be in shiny new condition whenever they were paid for. And because those commodities were inseparable from the woman and her personhood, there was a degree to which she was objectified and socially subordinated. And so she had all of these prohibitions placed on her sexual activity that were not placed on men. Now, things changed during the Greco-Roman period because of the influence of Greek philosophical frameworks and social conventions. And so there began to be significance attached directly to the act of sex, which meant some parity was achieved in the expectations regarding the sexual behavior of both men and women. And this is what we see in Greco-Roman period Jewish literature. It's also what we see taken up by Christianity. And so from the Greco-Roman period on, there was a sexual ethic built upon the notion that there was moral and ethical significance directly tied to the act of sex. Now, it has been rationalized in a variety of different ways ever since then. But I think it's important to note that whether we're talking about the Hebrew Bible or Greco-Roman period Judaism or Christianity, the proximate cause of their sexual ethic has been the ongoing negotiation between their social circumstances, their needs and their exigencies, and their goals for the future. In other words, it's something that's negotiable. It is not anything eternal or divine or that transcends society. And as a bonus insight, there's absolutely nothing anywhere in the New Testament that identifies Mary Magdalene as a sex worker. That's something that was made up by Pope Gregory the Great in 591 CE in a homily he gave on forgiveness, where he arbitrarily identified the sinful woman at the end of Luke chapter 7 as Mary Magdalene, and then speculated that of all the sins she could be guilty of, sex work would be the most heinous, and so she must have been a sex worker. And Mary Magdalene has been traditionally identified as a sex worker ever since. But until 591 CE, no one had ever made that identification, and there's nothing in the New Testament that supports it. And the fit for this video has been Dungeons and Dragons.